Alright class, with this one, number 5 in homework set 11 from section 3.2, we need to find the measure of angle x. And notice that we have our two parallel lines here and our transversal. Well, our part of our transversal here. So we can draw these things here. And my go-to, if you recall from our lesson, is to just draw a line down the middle. Draw a line down the middle. Make that parallel. Okay, so it'll be parallel to this one. To this one. Okay. Now we're going to label this line 1, line 2, line 3. Okay, our goal is to find x. Our goal is to find x. And line 2 has split x into two parts. So I'm going to name it A and B. They're going to equal angle measures. Okay, now we need to, since we're splitting x up in A and B, we can just, if we just find A and B, then add those numbers together, and we can get x. Now A and B are actually next to other numbers, other angles. And let's see, A is next to 25 degrees here. There's probably some sort of correspondence here with that. And it's true, these three angles are equal. And how are they equal? Well, we can take our parallel lines here. This is line 1 and line 2. Okay, they're parallel. That's where A has one side A has one part of its angle, the initial side on the parallel line and the terminal side on the transversal. And so does 25. 25 has a side on the parallel line and then the other side on the transversal. Okay, so on the same transversal. It's important for that to happen so we can make these relationships. Because they're on opposite sides of the transversal and inside the parallel lines, these two angles are equal by alternate angles. Alternate angles. Okay. So once A is 25, we'll go ahead and write that down. B is also next to 20 degrees here. And B is and 20 degrees are on this, they have in the same transversal here. 20 degrees has this part right here. Showing the transversal, B has this part right here, transversal. And they're on opposite sides of the transversal inside the parallel lines, so they also are alternate angles. So B is going to be equal to 20 degrees because alternate angles are equal. Okay. Now A and B we have, so we just add them together to get x. So 25 degrees plus 20 degrees equals x. X is going to equal 45 degrees. Okay, so this is my scratch work. Looks like it worked out pretty well. B is 20. It's equal to 45 degrees. Okay, so how do we write that as a teacher solution? Well, the first thing that we did do was we drew in line 2. So we draw line 2 parallel to line 1 and line 3. Okay, and so that split my x degrees angle into two parts. And when that did that, I need to explicitly say that x is equal to a plus b, and that they're not in half. Okay, so as you can see that we calculate 25 degrees for A and 20 degrees for B. So those are angles add. I need to say where they come from before I use them. Now we related A to 25 degrees. So A is equal to 25 degrees from alternate angles. And we say which lines are parallel these alternate angles are between. So that'll be a line 1 parallel to line 2. B is also equal to 20 degrees because of the alternate angles. Line 2 parallel to line 3. Next we have to compile them back together. Substitute them back in to x. X is equal to 25 degrees plus 20 degrees. Okay, that's an algebra move, so we don't need to do anything with that. Therefore, x is equal to 45 degrees. And we've got it. Alright class, and this one is number 6 on homework set 11 from 3.2. We have x in the middle and 105 on top and 115 on the bottom. So my go-to was to get the auxiliary line to go right through the middle, right through the x, and split into 2 parts. Okay. Now x is split into 2 parts. Let's label them A and B. They're not in half, so A is not like equal to half of x. It could be any number. Okay. Now there's a relationship that we notice between A and 105 here. So just like it's a parallelogram, A is an interior angle, so it's 105. So we use interior angles. This one. So we're going to say draw L1, L2, L3. Let's do that one, L1 and L3. Oops. L1, 3, L2, L1. Okay. So now we have L1, L2, and L3. We have A and 105 have a relationship, and they're actually interior because they're both inside the parallel lines and on the same side of the transversal. Okay, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to draw L2 parallel to L1 and L3. Okay, so those are all done there. We started, and we have A is equal to 105. Well, they're not quite equal. A is equal to something, but because they're interior, A is going to be, and 105 are going to be supplementary. So that means that A, oops, I forgot to say where my A came from, right? So I take my X and I split it up into A plus B. From angles add, okay, so adjacent angles can be split up or put together. From angles add property. So A is going to equal 105. No, they're not equal. They're supplementary. A plus 105 is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, and that's from interior angles. L1 is parallel to L2. Okay. Now same thing with B. B has a relationship here. And so B plus 115 equals, oops, that's before you forget to be down the cell for A. So subtract 105. That means that A is equal to 80 minus 5 is 75 degrees. The 100s will cancel out. So A is 75 degrees. I'm going to work down my thing, my figure. B plus 115 degrees is equal to 180 degrees because that's also interior angles between B and 115. L2, however, is parallel to L3. Okay, and we solve for B. 118 minus 5. Oh, sorry, 118 minus 100 is 80. And 180 minus 10 from the 15 is 170. 70, and then now we have 65. So b is equal to 65 degrees. Now since x is equal to a plus b, we're going to go ahead and add those together. And we're going to say that x is now, therefore, x is equal to 75 degrees plus 65 degrees, which is equal to 140 degrees. Okay. All right, class, number 8 from section 3.2, homework set 11. I'm going to again go to my default and draw an auxiliary line right through the 40 degrees. Oops, kind of missed there. There we go. We'll name all those lines. This is line 1, line 2, line 3. Okay. Now we're going to see what's 40 degrees was split by the line 2. So we did a draw line 2 to be parallel to line 1 and line 3. And so 40 was split into two parts. So let's name it one A and then one B. And because of that, we say 40 degrees is equal to A plus B. We need to get to X. A and 25 have a relationship here. And also 40 and B have a relationship there. No, not 40 and B, but B and X. And they have their relationship there. That's it. Okay. Now A and 25 degrees. So we have our parallel lines right here. We have our transversal here. We have A is 40 degrees here. 25 is up here. Now notice that 40 degrees and 25 degrees share the same terminal side on the transversal, and they're both above the parallel line. So that means that they must be corresponding angles. So A is going to be equal to 25 because corresponding angles are equal. Okay, CORR angle, symbol with an S, and we put which lines are parallel. Line 1 parallel to line 2. Now B and X are related. B is equal to X because they are alternate angles. Line 2 parallel to line 3. Okay. Now alternate angles. Are on opposite sides of the transversal, and okay, so notice that these are the parallel lines here. Relationship between B and X, right here. Down, and then we are going to put A and B back together with 40 degrees. Okay. So 40 degrees is equal to A plus B, where A is 25 degrees plus X. B is equal to X. So 40, so we're going to just subtract 25 degrees from both sides. Minus 5 is 5, 4, 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so X is equal to 15 degrees. Okay. All right.